Dear students, today we will see site types. There are several ways to categorize websites. When we are taking websites, there are so many methods or so many ways to categorize the websites. And in general, there are three type of website categories: public, intranet, extranet. The public website means anybody can access that website. Okay, that concept we'll call it as a public website. If website is available for anyone, like maybe the best example is Google. An intranet website, it is private to one particular organization, generally run within a private network rather than on the internet at large. There are some websites specifically for one organization that we will call it as a intranet website. Extranet website. This type of website is available to a limited class of users but is available via the public internet. The major difference between the three basic site categorization is an audience. The public website designer know little about the users, whereas the designer of private website can meet every user of the site and take input. Okay, and in general, we can say that public website is like maybe Google. Intranet website is maybe website which is related to only one organization. We will not come to know. If you join that company, you will come to know whether there is any intranet site or not. Extranet site, maybe it will act like a public as well as intranet. Maybe the best example is KUD site. In the KUD, it is for the students and public, okay, as well as even for the colleges or maybe to the staffs of KUD. So that's why it will act like a intranet as well as public website, and that we will call it as a extranet site. And the following list shows like interactivity, frequency of change, time of page creation, size, technology usage. On that basis, we will group the websites. Grouping by interactivity. Sites may allow user to just view the content or modify to some extent. And that type of site we will call it as a group by interactivity. A static site is one where content is relatively fixed and users are unable to affect the look or scope of the data they view. Accessing a static website is like reading a paper magazine where users normally flip back and forth between the pages. Second one, grouping by frequency of change. The contents of the site may be changed over time and changes may happen daily, weekly, monthly and so on. The sites that never change are said to be static. The site which changes is called dynamic. Then web architecture. Web architecture is the conceptual structure of the World Wide Web. The WWW or Internet is a constantly changing medium that enables communication between different users and the technical interaction between different systems and subsystems. The basis for this is different components and data formats, which are usually arranged in tiers and built on each other. Overall, they form the infrastructure of the internet, which is made possible by the three core components of data transmission protocol. Okay, there will be a three-tier architecture in the web architecture. How the concept is, and commonly all these concepts or all these architectures will work on these protocol TCP/IP, HTTP, and HTTPS, and it will use different formats: HTML, CSS, XML. Okay, and there will be standards URI and URL. Types of web architecture. Client server model, that is first one. Second one, three-tier model. And third one is service oriented architecture. There are three architectures. One is client server model, second one is three-tier model, and then service oriented architecture. And in the client server, The web consisted of two-tiered architecture, clients and server. That is even called as client-server concept, client-server model. Client is a workstation. The user will act like a client, and there will be a web server to serve the information to client. Clients and servers share the tasks and service that the system are supposed to perform. For example, the client may request a service from the server. The server answers the request by providing the service. Retrieving a website using a URL address that directs to a server to load the site in the client's browser is an example of the two-layer model, also known as the client-server model. Client-server is called as two-layer architecture. Three prerequisites must exist in the web architecture for the distributed application system to communicate with one another. Representation formats with a fixed standard. There are three prerequisites for this web architecture. Representation formats with fixed standard. It may be HTML, CSS or XML when machine communicate with one another. Protocols for data transfer, that is HTTP, HTTPS and SMTP or POP. Okay, these protocols. Third one, the standard for addressing. It may be URL or URI, Uniform Resource Locator or Uniform Resource Identifier, URI or maybe URL. That is standard for addressing. So what this URI is? As you know about URL, Uniform Resource Locator, that is address to identify the website. URI, Uniform Resource Identifier, is a character string that serves as a unique reference for resources on the internet. These resources may be abstract or physical. Possible resources are text, video, and audio files, as well as web services such as email, program for data transfer, or network adapter. Okay, all these we'll call it as a URI. Three-tier architecture. In three-tier model, the application logic between the client and the server, which handles the data processing and allows a certain degree of interaction. Which handles the data processing and allows the certain degree of interaction. For example, an application server can process data while database server is dedicated solely to data storage. In this way, contents can be dynamically loaded and saved. The script language is often responsible for the behavior of the client. That means in the three-tier model, along with other concepts, that means along with protocols, standards and representation format, it will use scripting language. Dynamic websites are characterized by the fact that content is changed on the client side without new communication between server and client being required. Action on the client side is influenced by scripts so that no asynchronous data transfer is necessary. There are different programming language and frameworks to implement three-tier model. That is Hypertext Preprocessor, Common Gateway Interface CGI, and JSP, then ASP.NET, then Ajax, Asynchronous JavaScript and XML, Microsoft Silverlight, JavaScript Object Notation, that is called as JSON, Java Applets, JavaScript and VBScript, that is client-side technologies. Okay, these are used in the three-tier architecture. Then the third one, service-oriented architecture, SOA, offer many functions and modular functional units which can be supplemented. With SOA, business processes can be automated by the involved system communicating with one another, partly without human intervention. Performing certain tasks, it will use one robotic system, and that will be there in the service-oriented architecture. Example includes online banking, e-commerce. Okay, as you already know, the OTP will come automatically when you make the transaction. That is called as robotic system. e-commerce, e-learning, online marketplaces, business intelligent applications. These architectures are not only much more complex but can also be modularly extended. They are known as entire architecture and have so far been used primarily in the business sector. So we can say there will be a two-tier architecture, three-tier architecture, and entire architecture. Entire architecture is service-oriented architecture. And there are two structural aspects of websites on the basis of architecture. They are logical structure and physical structure. The logical structure will describe documents that are related documents, that's link between documents. Logical structure defines the link between documents. Okay. Physical structure describes where a document actually lives, that is, the document's directory path on a web server or its location in a database. That means the physical path, we will call it as a physical structure. The designer must hide the real path. In other words, users should not be shown the physical file structure of the site. There are four main organizational models used in website. They are linear, grid, hierarchy, and web. Website structure. Website structure refers to how the website is set up. That is how the individual subpages are linked to one another. It is particularly important that crawlers can find all subpages quickly and easily when websites have a large number of subpages. For this reason, a website's home page needs to have links to the most important subpages. Based on the link of web pages, they are in different name. Normally, there are three types of web pages in a website. For example, home page, main page, and subpages. Home page, main page, and subpages. So, basic website layout, how it will be. So commonly when you see one website, there will be an index page that is called as home page, and then there will be a sections, main sections that is called as site index, and again there will be a subsection for each section, okay, and then there will be a contents, okay, subsections or contents, and even this may be directly related to home page or directly related to upper page or to the main sections. A home page is a default or front page of a site. Main page contains information about particular division. Subpage contains details or information about particular topic or subject. There are four types of website structure, as I said earlier: linear or sequential structure, tree or hierarchical structure, network or web link structure, hybrid or combinational structure, linear or sequential structure. Okay, tree or hierarchical structure, one below another. Network or web linked structure. Okay, network or web linked structure. All are linked one another. Hybrid may be the combination of above structures. So linear structure we can see. So page 1 linked to page 2 is linked to page 3, and page 3 is linked to page 4. Even in every page there will be links to move to previous page and next page. Okay, this type of concept we'll call it as a linear structure. Then hierarchical structure or tree structure. So home page, and then there will be a sub pages. Again there will be a sub pages related to first level of sub pages. This is hierarchical or tree structure. Network or web link structure. Page 1 is linked to page 2. Again page 2 is linked to page 3. Again page 2 is linked to page 5. Even the page 1 is linked to page 4. Even you can go back to page 1 or page 3. Okay. So all are linked. Okay. It is one type of hub. All are linked. You can jump from any page to another web page, even to home page or even to the beginning page, even to the end page. Hybrid or combinational structure. Here the structure is, here it is a linear, but here it is a hierarchical. Then it is called as hybrid structure. That means if you combine many number of structure format, that means 3 structure formats into one, then we will call it as a hybrid structure. That means when you are developing website, you have to go for any one method, okay, depending upon your requirement. As I said earlier, in the beginning you have to design the algorithm or the manual page formats. How many number of pages are there and which all pages are involved in one website. On that basis, you can develop a website. Thank you, students. In the next class, we will see other concepts. God bless you.